Hello students, welcome once again. Today we are going to do a story on a dog's love. Now, you will be asking yourself, why are we doing stories in spoken English class? We are doing so because reading and speaking goes hand in hand. If we know how to write, we should know how to read them. Now, there are a few words that are difficult to read. That's why we're doing a story. You will listen and see me read and see how the words are pronounced so you can speak properly. After the end of the story, you are going to give me a small summary in your own words in an audio form, along with the moral that you learn from this story. So be prepared for that and let's begin. This is a story about a dog and a small girl. "Daddy!" Yana shouted as she ran into her father's arms, giving him a big warm hug. Now, whenever we are reading, we should know what are the dialogues, where you have to pause. Now, you have to pause when there is a comma or a full stop. Okay? Now, the girl's name is Yana. She started screaming and shouting, and she ran towards her father's arms to give him a very big warm hug. But then she suddenly noticed a box wiggling at the back that seemed to have something inside. So when she went to hug him, she saw something and she noticed, she came to know that there was a box that was wiggling. Wiggling means shaking, and the box was shaking from the back. It felt like there was something inside. "Oh daddy, what's that?" Yana asked. So she asked her father, "What's in it?" "Go and see, and go and you'll see," her dad said, smiling. So her father smilingly told her that, "Go and check, my child, what it is." As she opened it, she saw a little puppy that looked frightened and cold. So when she opened that box, she saw there was a very small puppy that was scared and was feeling cold. Yana suddenly took the puppy out and carried it like a baby with care. So immediately after seeing the scared cold puppy, she carried that puppy, that's the baby dog, in her hands like it's a baby and started taking care of it. Yana felt so close and warm. She didn't want to put it down. She felt like this is her best friend and she felt warm. So she wanted to carry it everywhere and not put it down. Since then, she was the one preparing its milk and food, as well as playing and sometimes talking with the puppy as if they understood each other. So from that day onwards, she started doing everything for her puppy. That is making the milk, preparing the milk, that is warming it up, making food for him, and she sometimes talked to the puppy as if he could understand what she was saying. And she also felt that she could understand what her puppy was telling her. Her dad and mom felt so proud and happy seeing Yana taking care of the puppy. So her parents were very happy. They felt pride for their daughter that she has become so matured, she can take care of that puppy. She named it Bambi. So she named her puppy Bambi with it had white thin fur with black spots. on its body and a big one on its face. So it had black dots, or not small dots, they were big, and it was white. So the dog was white with black dots, and there was a big black dot on its face. But she loved the puppy very much. From the name Bambi, I think the dog was a girl or a female, and she was very happy with it. As the days went by, the dog became so close and attached to Yana that it followed her around even while sleeping or going outside. So they were so good friends. The dog was so attached or attracted to Yana that it started following him everywhere, even going outside the house, even if they're in the house, so it would follow her, and even the dog would sleep with her. Every morning they had to jog and play fetch. Sometimes they just lay around somewhere at home. So every morning they used to do plenty of exercise by playing together. She used to throw something and her dog would catch it, would go and bring it, or they started jogging around. Sometimes they would just lay down and enjoy the day at home. While studying or watching TV, Bambi could be found just sitting still or lay beside her as if they were glued together. Now, when the girl was studying or watching TV, her pet Bambi used to sit with her very still like a statue or lay with her. It was like they were glued together. They would never stay away from each other. It feels good whenever you have a friend that is always by your side, doing what you do, listening to you. So it feels very good when we have a friend that supports us, that listens to everything we say. Even if it's a dog, it seems he understands you. Even if it's just a dog, but you feel that he or she can understand you. He cheers you up when you are lonely and sad by sitting beside you. So you feel happy. They try to make you feel happy when you are alone or when you are sad by sitting with you or letting you cuddle him. Cuddle him means to hold him or her in your hands. Others say that it's just a dog, but for all dog lovers, including Yana, a dog is a companion, friend, family, and there is a special trust and loyalty between them. So, for other people who do not have dogs in their house, they will say, oh, it's just a dog. What's the big deal? But for the people who love dogs, that dog is their life partner, their friend, they are part of their family. They have a special place in their heart because they trust them and they are very loyal to them. One day, there was a family gathering at home. Relatives and friends came by. Yana proudly introduced Bambi to her cousins and friends. So one day, her family members came to meet them. They were relatives and friends who came there. Yana was very happy. She was introducing her dog Bambi to her cousins and friends. They played all day long and didn't even notice they hadn't eaten. So they were playing all day and they forgot that they had not even eaten anything. Yana, come here first, her dad called. So her dad called her that, come here fast. Okay, dad, I'll be right there, she answered. So she said, okay, dad, I'm coming. She rushed into the dining area where with her cousins to eat and forgot that she had left Bambi behind. So she went very fast to the dining area. Dining area is where people eat in the house. So she started eating with her cousins and she forgot everything about Bambi. She forgot that Bambi had not eaten. She forgot that she left Bambi there. The dog kept on walking, looking for Yana until it finally just sat and lay at the corner. So the dog started looking for Yana. He started walking around and sat in a corner and laid down. It kept looking around, seeing people talking, kids running until it fell asleep. So it started looking for Yana. Where is she? He could see that there were people, they were talking to each other, there were small kids running from here to there, and it fell asleep. After a whole day of playing, eating, and talking, Yana suddenly thought of Bambi and found it sleeping. So the whole day she forgot about her dog. She was playing, eating, and talking with her friends. And suddenly she remembered the dog and she looked for it and she found that it was sleeping. She lifted and cuddled it, then went out to find food for it. So she carried it and cuddled it, held it close to her, and started looking for food. Mom, is there anything I can feed Bambi? She asked her mother. And what did she ask her mom? Is there some food for Bambi? I don't think there are leftovers. Your dad probably already put them in the garbage. Her mother thought and said, I don't think there is anything left. Your dad has thrown everything in the dustbin or garbage. Yana was saddened to hear that there was no food for Bambi. She carried Bambi away and sat at a corner where no one else could see them. So she became very sad because there was no food for her dog. She took her dog in her arms, carried it, and sat at the corner of a house where no one can see them. Putting her head down and not saying anything made Bambi worried and so snuggled in beside her. So she put her head down, she was not saying anything, she was sad. And this made Bambi think what is happening with her. Bambi became worried about her and snuggled to her. That means to give her warmth, hold her. Tears were falling down from Yana's eyes while looking at Bambi, making the surroundings even lonelier. She started crying, and this made the whole place feel like she's alone over there. She pitied the poor dog. It was like her heart was torn apart. She felt bad for her dog. She felt like someone had taken away a small part of her heart. I'm so sorry, Bambi, she said as she hugged the dog. She apologized to the dog and hugged him. Her mom came and saw her crying and asked why. She replied that Bambi had no food and must be very hungry. Now, when her mom saw her crying, she told her that Bambi did not have food and the dog is very hungry. Mom found a way for Bambi to eat so that Yana would not be sad anymore. So her mom found some food for the dog so Yana could not be sad. For a month, Yana was busy taking her classes, going from home to school, and back again to her everyday routine. Now, for the next month, Yana got very busy with her school classes. She used to go to home, home to school, school to home, her homework, everyday activity, that is her daily routine. Sometimes she forgot to notice Bambi, but when she would get home, Bambi was always at the front door waiting for her. Sometimes she forgot that Bambi was even in the house, but Bambi never forgot that. Bambi was always at the front door waiting for her to come back from school, running towards her, wagging its tail. It was full of excitement and happiness to see its owner. So, whenever she came, The dog would run towards her, move its tail with so much happiness and excitement, and when he or she, that is the dog, sees the owner, Bambi would always wait for her at the end of the day. It would help Yana forget her problems, her tiredness, and she would feel great and relieved at that moment. So Bambi made her feel good at the end of the day because Bambi used to wait for her every day. Being with Yana made Yana forget her problems and all the things that she had in her mind. One day Yana terrible, felt terrible and weak because of stomachache. Bambi noticed that she was not feeling well, going up and down the stairs, returning from the bathroom several times. Now, one day, Yana became very sick. She was very weak because she had a stomachache. The dog noticed that the girl was running from the bathroom to her home, to her room, and henceforth. That whole day, Bambi was just staring and following her. It was as though the dog was worried and sad for her. So that whole day, the dog was following her from everywhere because the dog knew that she was not feeling well and was sad for her. When the evening came, the family was sound asleep except for one Yana. She was in a room with Bambi, suddenly cried out of pain. So in the evening, when everyone was sleeping, only Yana was awake, and she suddenly started having some pain and she started screaming. Bambi heard it and went to her side, but the pain was getting worse. The dog ran to her to help her, but there was nothing it can do because the pain was getting bad. She went downstairs and lay down on the sofa, crying silently so her parents could not hear her. While she was enduring the pain, Bambi was just staring at her. Now, the girl, that is Yana, she went downstairs and slept on the sofa. She was crying silently so her parents cannot know that she's crying. All this time she was having a lot of pain. She was not showing it. Bambi was looking at her continuously. I can't take the pain anymore, she said while looking at Bambi. She told her dog, this pain is too much. I cannot keep it with me. I cannot bear it. The dog suddenly sat near her and started whining, sharing the pain she was feeling and keeping her company. So the dog also started whining. What is whining? To make sad sounds. The dog was trying to share her pain by staying with her. The dog did not leave her side until Yana fell asleep. So the dog was not leaving her until she was asleep. Morning came and Yana felt much better waking up. Her stomachache was gone. As she was leaving for school, she greeted Bambi with a smile, said she would be back soon. But the dog didn't react and just lay down on a corner. Next morning, Yana was feeling much better. When she was leaving for school, she smiled at Bambi and told her, I'll be back very soon. But the dog did not react at all and it was just lying there. The whole day passed and it was late afternoon when Yana came back from school. Excitedly, she looked around, but her dog was nowhere to be found. So, after the whole day was passing, in the afternoon when she came from school, she was very excited. She was full of joy and happy to see her dog, but she could not find her dog anywhere. She looked in each nook and cranny of the house. Now, nook and cranny means every corner and hiding place of the house, but she saw no traces of Bambi. But she could not find Bambi anywhere. Her parents looked at her with worry on their faces. Her parents were very sad and were worried about her. Yana, come here, sweetheart. We would like to tell you something, her dad said. Now, Yana's dad said, come here. We have something to tell you. Bambi is dead. This morning after you leave, he could barely breathe and feel weak the whole day. We tried to revive him, but it was too late. I'm so sorry, honey. So, they told her that Bambi, her dog, is dead. In the morning, when she left for school, the dog could not breathe properly. It was very weak. They tried to revive him. Revive means to bring him back alive. But it was too late. They could not do anything. And they are very sorry for that. While hearing these words, you could see the tears flowing down from Yana's sad eyes. It broke her heart that the only friend she had was now gone. Now, when she was listening to these words, she started crying. She was very sad. It broke her heart that the only friend she had is gone, is no more. Now, it's very fascinating to think that animals do have loyalty and trust towards humans, which is sometimes hard to find from humans themselves. We humans don't, not all of us have loyalty and trust with others, but animals have them on us. We may not directly communicate with them, but through actions and how we treat them, it will result in a good relationship between humans and animals. Now, we know that we cannot talk to them because they cannot listen to us and they cannot talk to us. But our actions, the way we treat them, how makes our relationship good or bad with them. And that is something that bonds the animals and humans together when the relationship is good. The love and trust we gain from them is the result of how we treat and love them. Now, the love and the trust that we get from them is because of how we love them and how we treat them. If we treat them good, we make them feel good, we love them, we will get their love and trust. But if we treat them badly, they would not love us. Humans are the only being with knowledge and skills that can be used to make the world a better place or to make the world better, especially taking care of surroundings, living and non-living. Now, as us humans are the only creatures that have knowledge and skills on how to make this world a better place by taking care of living and non-living things. So it's up to us how we build our relationship with other animals, with our surrounding. Now you have to give me a summary with the moral of this story in an audio form before 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's all for today. Bye-bye.